All right, ready to go?
Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the July meeting of the Windsor Township Board of Supervisors. Before we start, I'd like to invite everybody to stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. First item on the agenda, would someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the June meeting of the board?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right, on to public comment. And we have
One.
Mr. Dave King.
Mr. King.
I'm here just representing the HOA over at Kershaw Creek. Just a couple of questions. Maybe Tom can help with some of this. Like the pond has no grass growing in it at all. They planted ryegrass, but you know that just lasts and then it's gone. Wanted to know is that something the township would look into to see if it's done correctly, or should the grass be planted?
Yes, we'll follow up with the owner, developer, to reseed the pond.
Okay. And the other question is there an escrow being held for any problems like this? And if so, how long is it held?
It is there is an escrow held, there is a maintenance portion of that letter of credit that's held for 18 months after the work was completed.
Do you know when that started about?
When the paving was done, I'd have to look to see when that was,
Okay.
done.
I think that was probably November, so,
18 months.
okay,
November of 2023.
yes. And do you have any other problems with the
We have
development?
not. We do
Is
not.
everything signed off as it currently exists?
I believe, I don't know if there's a punch list, I can find that out, if there's a punch list or not. I'm not aware of a punch list.
Okay. I know, these are simple things, and maybe it's just something that we have to work out with Massimo, like, the clean outs are, a foot off the ground, they're not flush with the ground, things like that. Is that something that it's our responsibility to work that out? Okay. Okay, so before we take possession of the common areas, we'll hash those items out.
Yep.
But if you can get a punch list, I'd like to see if maybe we're missing something on there, that would be great.
Yep.
Would you like a card?
I'll take a card, sure. I know I have it, but it would give me a reminder.
Appreciate it. That's it.
All right. That it?
That's it.
All right, thank you. All right, that's all we have for public comment tonight. Go into the reports of financial status.
Okay, real quickly, if you have a handout, the last two papers in the handout that was distributed show the status of the finances for the township, of course, as of today. Under taxes, real estate, line item 301.1, real estate current, that basically is what we're going to get because of the rebate period being over with and whatever. The one thing that is good for us, line item 310.21, earned income tax, 259,000. That's a little bit above what we have estimated. And of course, for the general fund, that is the major source of income for Windsor Township. We have received the liquid fuels from the state. That's line item 35505, the 167,000. And of course, on the far right, the American Rescue Fund, that money will be expended this year for road work. And what we're receiving now, of course, is just the interest. Interest is line item 341. And there you can see as of through the month of June, the township in all funds has accumulated $26,000 some in interest. As of today, the total income received for Windsor Township, $591,167.15. The last page then, of course, shows the expenditures. One of the things that will really change dramatically in the next couple months, of course, the major expenses for the township are the road work, and with the 2 contracts that have been awarded, that both of those will entail the better part of a $500,000. So that'll be the major expenses for the township this year. Total expenditures as of today, $407,936. Any questions concerning the finances of the board?
No. That's 409, sorry. 409. 409. Yeah, mine says 9.
Okay, that's the new one, okay.
What's the difference?
The difference is I just added something when I was, doing that.
Okay.
Okay, that's what that is.
All right, yeah, there's a difference there. All right, no other comments, thank you. All right, zoning officer, we have a new zoning officer with us. His name is Matt Hopper from LTL, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And I don't know if anybody, you want to introduce yourself, Paul?
Yeah, sure. My name's Paul Labe. I'm one of the principals with LTL. Just wanted to be here tonight to introduce Matt Hofford. He will be the new zoning building code official for Windsor Township, representing LTL. We've been servicing Windsor for probably over 20 years now, doing zoning work. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to doing that with Matt. He has years of experience as a zoning officer. He's a building code official, has a couple residential certifications, so we feel that he's going to be a good fit for you guys.
All right,
Thanks, Paul.
thank you, Ben. You're local, aren't you?
I am. I'm also the local high school football coach.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
very local.
All right, good, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Nice meeting everybody.
All right, the floor is yours. You have any comment on your report, or?
Sure. There was 4 inspections, or 4 permits processed last month. We did 7 residential inspections, and Ryan was working on a bunch of zoning issues, and we hope to continue looking into those and taking care of any issues that you guys see come up.
Okay, one of the zoning issues that I brought up was there's a property on Woodland Road, and they basically created a wetland.
Okay.
It's where all the storm water goes to. And DEP was involved in this a couple of years ago. We can't make them cut it, and that's fine. But they're not allowed to have any indigenous trees growing in there. And I had asked Ryan what is considered an indigenous tree. I mean, those he'll have to cut out of it.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you want to take a look at that sometime. Familiar with Woodland Road, when you're coming out of Hamburg, you cross over that new little bridge. It's the first property on the right-hand side, the
Okay.
retention area there. Just take a look at it and let us, see what you think.
Absolutely. Anything else?
No, and like I said, I'm not trying to bust this guy's hump or anything like that, but that's the only thing we can make him cut out.
Sure. I'll look into it.
All right. Do you have something, Ben?
Yeah, the old schoolhouse down here, right at the intersection, Windsor Castle and Sunday Road.
Mhm.
The arborvitaes are growing out, blocking the stop sign now.
At the farm that you're talking about.
Well, it's kind of right at the
Right.
farm and stuff. Or do we have to contact them, or should we just trim them back?
I mean, I would contact the owner first. We can try to reach out to them and see where it goes from there. I would reach out to them first.
'Cause it's just, I don't know if it's just with growing, or leaning, but now also our stop sign's blocked.
Okay.
Is the stop sign in the right of way of the road?
Yeah, so is the arborvitaes.
Is is it like hanging over, or is it the arborvitae literally
Well,
right away?
here's the stop sign post, like 2 inches over is the arborvitae, when they planted it, well, now it's just,
I mean, for safety wise, if you guys want to trim it, then I'll still reach out and try to.
and stuff, so. Because there's like 4 or 5 right in a row there. When they had the issue there the other year with the state police, they wiped out 6 of them. I wish they would have came and wiped out some more, but the other ones are kind of growing, but now it's blocking our stop sign.
Yeah.
And if you just get a chance to talk sometime about the things we were doing with the tree trimming and that
Oh,
stuff,
okay, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
get them up to speed on that. You know, you can do that at your
Yeah,
leisure.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
All right.
I'll contact them.
That's over,
All right.
that's over winter, so we have time for that.
Yeah, and we'll get you our contact information
Awesome.
that we
I have
have,
cards
and
with them.
we'll need yours as well.
Yep, I'll give you guys cards then.
All right, yep, sounds good. All right, any other comments? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, engineering and SEO, we have the honor to have Mr. Unger here for a few more times.
Not too
One
much.
or two more times, maybe. I know Pamela's itching to get over into that seat.
So the SEO report is attached to our handout to you. No real activity for the month on the sewage enforcement officer's report. We do have an action item on your agenda for Hamburg Commerce Park. That is a release of their maintenance fund that they had posted 18 months ago. So this will totally close out the Hamburg Commerce Park. There's a part of a building that it was in Windsor Township, if you remember. Not too much improvements. So that is a release number 2 in the amount of $97,004.99. And that releases the letter of credit in its entirety.
Do you have any comment on it, Russell?
No, I think this is appropriate, given the information that's been provided by Pamela and by Tom. That at this point, I think the board would be appropriate for the board to make a motion to approve the requested reduction to 0.
And Russell, also, typically the bank requests the original LOC to be returned.
Right.
So that's why I put in the letter, maybe that needs to be added into the motion. Wasn't sure what the meeting minutes need to reflect.
Right, and I think that would be appropriate, that the original letter of credit can be released from Township escrow and returned to the bank. And Craig does have that involved.
Okay. Someone like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion that we reduce the letter of credit to 0 balance.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it.
The motion should also reflect that the letter of credit can be returned to the bank.
Okay, letter of credit returned to the bank. Russell, or do you have the actual paperwork that we have to sign, or?
There's nothing to sign, I don't think, at this point.
No, we don't have anything from the bank yet to sign. I think that Wendy will probably send that along now that this has been approved, and then I'm sure they'll request the letter of credit at that point.
Who do we have to forward? You know, since we have done this action now, what's next on our end?
I copied Wendy on the email, so she's very aware that this
Yes.
is an action item tonight.
So it's
So-
return, the action item is return the letter of credit, or, yeah, the letter of credit.
Correct.
So if you're
Physically.
Physically returning it to Wendy Fulton
Right.
Okay.
at,
Keith Corporation.
yeah,
And then she'll forward it to US Bank.
Right.
okay?
I would do that by FedEx or UPS or something where you can track it.
Mhm. Okay.
And if you're not copied on the email that we'll get back from Wendy, we'll make sure that all that information is forwarded to all of
We'll
you.
communicate.
You got it, okay?
Just for information, H&K and the Pine Street culvert, they're scheduled to come in the last week of July. They got pushed back because of the lead time on the concrete end walls
Okay.
and the pipe. So they are scheduled for last week of July, I think,
Yeah,
right?
29.
Yeah.
Start at 29.
So,
Okay.
and knows how to coordinate his work, closing the street and everything.
Yeah, MSI is coming the 22nd to set the signs up, close
Yeah.
it down, and then hopefully weather holds that we'll do our pipes and then they can come and start Monday. So,
All right. Any update on the cement mill?
Oh, the cement mill?
The cement plant?
Ready.
H&K.
Ready mix,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
My understanding is we're still waiting for some final information from H&K, including the holding tank execution, the holding tank agreement execution. And I know Justin Shell from your office was working on that, but I still think he's missing pieces.
Yeah, I have a call with their attorney, with the attorney for H&K, I think on Tuesday, to cover some of the outstanding issues.
Including the maintenance, operation maintenance portion of that agreement for the
Yes.
pipes that cross Monument Road, including the inlets, that maintenance that's in the township right away.
Yeah, while we're on that, is, when they vacate the property, I know I had asked about them inspecting that pipe. And instead of the township taking it over, why isn't the property owner taking it over? Because it doesn't benefit us at all.
Is it the pipe in the right-of-way, in the state
Well,
right-of-way?
I think it's gonna be going underneath the state road.
Yeah, the PennDOT requires that the HOP be in the township's name.
No, they do.
Yes, they require that. That's why we're protecting the township
Yeah.
with the agreement then between the township and H&K
Correct.
that puts the responsibility of not ownership, because you own it, but the responsibility of maintenance
Mhm.
and the costs associated with that on H&K.
But I mean, once H&K is gone, then it's on us rather than the property owner, because it benefits the property owner. It's just like me putting a pipe underneath my driveway.
Well, the agreement will be assignable, right?
One of the issues that we have to, I'm addressing on this call is that there needs to be some language binding on the owner as well as on H&K. So
Okay.
that's one of the issues we have to address.
All right. And had Kyle Chilius contacted either of you about road cutting permits in Edinburgh for the sewer work that they're doing out there?
We also had an inquiry about Willow.
Well, that was the one,
We have heard nothing. There's nothing.
I'll remind him tomorrow, because they're, we gave them a pass 6 years ago when they put the sewer line in out there, because they were doing it was such a big scope of a project. So we waived the road cutting permits, but now they're back fixing stuff that they put in 6 years ago.
Right.
And I'm trying to get them to get everything fixed before we do the final code on the roads.
Ryan did say they pulled one for Willow, for a road
They
cut.
did?
Yeah, it was after the fact that they did pull one. Ryan had said about it.
Yeah, there is an application for Willow,
Okay. Was there one for Raymond?
just Willow.
Okay, because they haven't done Raymond yet.
Yeah.
And I know Kyle knows that we did the tar and chip out there.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, because he said they didn't have it right away, but they did get it a couple days later. after-
Well, I'm trying
after
to
work.
get him to do that one on Raymond before, and it's not the one that we patch, it's actually up in front of Greg James' house.
Yeah, I said, well, I had taken pictures of the marks there before they went over and stuff, so.
All right.
Because, well, they actually had two areas. There was one there, and then there was another one in front of Gloria Kramer's house, almost down at Southeast Drive there. There was another area marked there too.
But we close to where you had patched.
Yeah.
They ran the camera through, and I was out there that day when they did it, and I didn't see anything on the camera as far as sags in the line, but there was a major sag up by,
Because they had
Greg's
the
house.
lines with the arrows in
Yeah.
the same area there, so I didn't know if that was another area, but I had taken pictures,
okay.
so.
Yeah, as long as they're getting that, coming up and, doing the road cutting permits.
So far, they're not, which that was considered, I guess, an emergency because of sinkhole.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, it was a big sinkhole.
Matt, can you forward to us the information you have regarding that road cutting permit?
Yeah, I actually emailed Tom about that today.
You did?
Yeah, yes. So, yeah,
Well, I think that's one that we said we don't have anything.
yeah,
Right.
I can send
Okay.
you the whole package.
Okay.
It was also, it implied a driveway, not a road cutting.
It shows an overlay on there.
Okay, well, once you send us the info,
Yeah.
we'll make sense of it.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have anything?
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you, guys. All right, Roadmaster, what do you have, Ben?
Well, we were kind of busy. Westerners were in and did the patchwork on Sunday, Blau, Raymond, and Mabel for the oil and chip work. We were out for a couple more trees down. We were up on Fort Clinton Avenue, cleaned up the gutters and sprayed up there. And then we sprayed the whole township areas that we were spraying. We graded the shoulders on Blau, Sunday, and Lively roads. The Repperts were here and dug for the 3 pipes on Crick Lane. So those are done. And AMS was here and oil and chip and stuff, so. Other items, which we started today, we're down on Strasser Road, doing 4 pipes down there. And then later, hoping the 24th and 25th to be doing the ones on Pine Street. And so, I do have the quotes for the blacktop work for Crick Lane from Dick Westner. It's $10,400, and Repperts are $5,092. So that way that they can get them blacktopped and Crick Lane will be done for this year.
Okay.
So,
So we'll be going with County Rupert.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
It's a big difference. What's the,
it says the exact same thing. Dig
Okay.
out, pay 4 pipes, and it's marked on Crick Lane. So. But there's a difference. We talked about Pine Street's gonna be getting closed up. That's probably gonna be closed to August 19th. And the 21st is when school starts. So hopefully everything gets done within that time period. Did we find any progress on the winter plowing contracts?
Not at this point.
All right. So, okay.
And what was that all about? Just giving them back to the state or what?
I wanted to see what we're getting for the state, because if it's anything like our mowing, we're losing money and stuff.
Well, that's something I noticed when they had that contractor come in and mow for them rather than us. They were only doing 1 pass at the bottom.
1 pass, and it was whatever their
And it looked
7-foot
horrible.
arm caught. And they were cruising down through it.
Yeah, it looked horrible. But I mean, they're working for the state. It's on the state.
But, no, because Greenwich isn't doing what I was told they were supposed to be doing. And we're doing what we were told as our part of the contract, but they're not doing their end of the contract. So I want to see what our contract actually said from what I was told to what it actually we're doing. So, because if they're not doing their end, why should we be
Yeah.
wasting our time and material, you know?
Yeah.
And I know West Brunswick we get paid for, but what are we getting paid to go up there per trip?
$25.
$25, yeah.
Well, it's costing us like anywhere from $53 to $60 to go up there. And if we're only getting $25 a trip, something has to be updated. That don't even pay for the salt we spread up there each time.
Yeah, probably not.
If
In
we're,
the truck and everything.
we're paying $75 a ton, and we're spreading almost a half ton of salt up there on their section.
Yeah, plus our time,
Yeah.
and then the plow it.
And so right there, it don't even cover our salt. So when were these contracts last
Oh.
updated?
It's probably been
Yeah.
like that since Paul's been here.
But all I heard this year is we don't have money, we don't have money. Well, there's a reason we don't have money, because stuff's not upgraded or
Okay.
updated.
Well,
And now, like with PennDOTs, we actually had to know by the 31st and stuff. So now we're stuck plowing for them again next year, well, this winter, because, but what are we getting for that?
well, you can come up with more precise figures and that stuff, and we'll just send them to West Brunswick Township,
Yeah.
and we need to cover our costs, or we're just not gonna do
You
it.
know, so it's, but that's what I need to know what, I'm not gonna go and just say, hey, and then, you know, what's our contract, you know.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we're supposed to plow their, you know, go out, do their intersection and come back. And then we're getting paid for that, you know. But like Greenwich, we're exchanging roads. Well, if they're not plowing roads for us, why are we plowing their roads for them?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we'll
that's,
just we're gonna make it that we're not gonna lose money.
you know,
So figure out what
so
your best estimate,
if,
and let us know, and we'll
if we
get a hold of
sold,
them.
if we sold, it's $53 to go up there for West Brunswick. If we plow, it's
So
more.
we missed that deadline to amend that for this coming year.
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
for PennDOT.
PennDOT.
For PennDOT. So-
You would get a contract to sign. So it's not automatic. You got a contract to sign. I think is it a 2-year contract?
Sometimes
That's
it's 5 or 3.
Three-year contract.
Three or
At least a
5,
three.
depends.
So-
So plowing, and it was two.
Who has the
for mowing.
contract?
Well, that's for PennDOT.
I don't
Yeah.
have a contract.
The only
Township has a contract.
The only contract I seen was the mowing contract.
Well,
I've
there-
never-
there's a
I've never
plowing
seen a
contract also.
contract.
So who has the contracts currently?
Pardon?
Who has, you have a contract?
We had the contract, right,
Okay, so we need to look at those?
yes, we can do that.
I mean, we need to make an action item here. If someone's gonna take charge and do this and not let it go for 3 months and we're too late, right?
I don't think it's a matter of being too late. You're either under contract or you're not under contract.
Okay,
So
well, the deadline to update it.
you'll get a contract from PennDOT to
Okay.
update when it's time.
Just like when we got the mowing contract.
Yeah.
And we told them that they didn't increase it.
Okay.
And then they, obviously, they told us to pound sand. They'll do the same thing with the mowing contract, with the plowing contract, we'll get that.
That was funny too, with the mowing contract, 'cause we only got 2,600 mowing cycle. Perry got Alfred $1,100 just to do Windsor Castle Road for him, and they said, no, it wouldn't cover their expenses. Well, now, we do like 8 miles for them for $2,600. That's 3.5 miles, and they were gonna give them $1,100. Why couldn't they give us more?
Who negotiates these contracts?
So, I have no idea. That's above my head.
Time to go over them. When is the current plowing contract?
Yeah.
When is that gonna expire?
I've
We
never
gotta pull
seen.
the contract and see what the end date is on it.
So, I've never seen.
So Ben, forget about the state roads, how are you making out on the roads that are the township roads mowing? Have you got a couple mowings this year to go yet, or? you
One
done?
more mowing yet in August.
Okay,
So, we usually do 2 mowings.
okay,
One for Memorial Day and one for Labor Day.
okay.
So that'll be in August.
And so you spray pretty hard.
Yeah.
While we're on roads, was that ever taken care of, the liquid fuels money for Oval Drive?
Oh, adding it. to
Adding it to our
yeah,
liquid fuels.
Adding it to our list.
Charlie Paris.
What was the name of the road again?
Oval Drive.
Oval.
Yeah. It was, well, Ridge was lengthened and Oval was added. Well, needed to be added.
But it was never put on our.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have till
Inventory.
We'll take care of
September
that.
1st.
We have till September 1st for that.
All right.
Is that a cul-de-sac?
It's a
No.
big circle. It's not,
Okay.
It's a dead end, but it's a big.
Big oval.
Yeah.
It's a big oval.
It's over.
Oval
Yeah,
grass.
it's
Yeah.
almost, it's like 6/10 of a mile around and stuff, something like that.
So Ridge Road was extended plus, you
Yeah.
want to add that extension plus Oval Road?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
because
Got it.
Ridge was extended almost 2/10 of a mile, I think
Okay.
it was, and then Oval, the whole
Okay.
oval. Another thing, I don't know if we can do anything, but a couple people had called me, a couple people had stopped me. It seems like this eastern section of the township, the Verizon internet service is failing. And they were wondering if the supervisors could say something to them. It's been going on for like 2 years. The techs come out, they look at it, oh yeah, the equipment needs to be upgraded in the township, and then they leave. So is there anything that,
It's not our equipment.
I know that, it's up, I said I'd bring it up.
I was told by the guy that helped work on this system that Verizon was already paid by the state to do the upgrade for internet in our section, and they're just sitting on the money.
Like I said, it's just like this eastern half,
So
If
Ben,
you
where's
can-
this?
Jamie
where's
Barton
this
would be probably the guy to
equipment-
talk to.
Where's this equipment at?
I know,
Towers, probably.
Yeah.
It's the township's equipment?
No,
No,
it's
no.
Verizon's.
Where's it at?
I think
I know the Verizon truck's usually sitting down here at the schoolhouse at the big box. Usually the tech guys are
So
sitting there.
my question is, what
but-
can the township do?
I don't think
Nothing.
there's
I don't know if
anything.
they can send them a letter saying, hey, you know, our residents are.
It'll go to the same place, the letters,
Yeah.
the letters that we send them about the trees that fall
Yeah,
on their
or
lawns.
with
I don't think it's,
exactly.
I don't think there's anything you really can do.
Probably
Tell
more
them.
you could do is send a letter to your representative and have your representative.
Yeah.
Tell them to go to Jamie Barton's office and complain about it, because he knows about it.
So, I said I'd bring it up. That's, I said, I don't know what will happen, but I'll bring it up. So, but that's all I have. for tonight.
All right, any other comment? All right, thank you. On to parks. Did you ever hear anything from Tim about the doors?
Yes. Right now, they're scheduled for July 19th.
Well, you schedule everything the same day.
But that is not
Yeah.
set in stone.
Okay.
So, because
But they
they're-
should have them by now. It's
They're
just,
they're made, they're waiting. Their
Okay.
installer got injured and he was out for 3 weeks. So now they're scrambling to get back up and on schedule.
okay, well, it is what it is.
So,
I had talked to Roger after we had talked, I don't know if I told you that, about the doors being unlocked on a Monday. I don't know if you've been over there to check lately.
no, because we had stopped there for lunch that day and that's when I seen they were open.
Well, they were open the following Monday as well. So I talked to Roger right after I talked to you. He was down at Fatima's house and I pulled over and had a chat with him. So that should be taken care of.
So is everything else going okay at the park then? The maintenance and cleanup and the mowing and you all good there?
There's maintenance over there.
That's what I'm asking.
That's I have a confused look. I mowed the last 2 times over there and stuff because Roger had called me and said that they had, that was on the 20th, that there was branches down and the grass wasn't mowed, so I went over and mowed it. And I know my time was a lot quicker than what gets posted, so if you want somebody new, I'll get somebody new in over there to mow.
I'm just asking what's going on.
I'm in the same boat as you. So I don't know what's going on over there because I have nothing to do with the rentals and stuff. As long as the grass is mowed, I'm happy. So if something breaks, then Roger calls me. But I don't get a call, I don't go over. So
Well, you shouldn't have to unless you're doing maintenance.
So I stay away from over there. That's a whole different world.
You handle it as you see fit.
So.
Any other comment?
No, I'm good.
I know it was brought up, the softball team didn't do anything there lately, and how the field's growing up. But technically, I'm not certified to spray there, because that's a parks. So, what should we do with the weeds there? Tell them they have to take care of it, or?
Well, and they can't spray nothing either. The only thing they can do is dig it up, because they're not allowed to spray there either.
Yeah, because it's our park, so.
Just let them see what they can do.
Are you willing to get that category in your license?
Not really. Because that's 10 more credits I gotta get in 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
And stuff,
Buy a goat.
so.
What did you say?
Buy a goat.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't feed it then, okay?
No, they make fun of it.
Munching around
You know,
over
they're
there.
beating in the outfield.
We could go move the stake, every other day or something like that, move the stake so they can just keep moving circles.
Yeah, just let them see what they can do.
Because now Scott was certified, so
Yeah.
he sprayed for them when they said about the weeds. But I don't think they were there much this year.
It didn't seem to be. I asked Roger and he didn't seem to know much about it.
Because there was a lot more activity there. You could see they were working the field and stuff this
Was
year.
it possible just run the weed eater a little bit, trim it down?
The mower, yeah, we can run the mower.
No, like the weed eater around the playground set too.
Yeah. That should be done every time it's mowed.
Okay.
So. But I know if you mow the field, that's gonna blow all the dirt away, so that we have to stay off of. So, because they just, was that 2 or 3 years ago,
Put diamond text
they
down.
redid the field, so that we're supposed to stay off of. with the
Well, let
mower
them,
and stuff, so.
let them do what they can do.
Because I'm sure if they're doing fall ball, they're probably soon gonna start back up again. So if Roger calls me, I'm gonna tell him that's on them.
Yeah. Yeah, because they used to contribute money towards the electricity, and do they do that anymore?
Not recently.
Yeah, because they have the food concession stand and stuff.
I don't even think they use that,
No?
that,
Well, they have the ability to use it.
yeah, ever since this, I forget his name, the other one took over.
Correct, Tom?
No.
That was a while back.
Yeah, no, there's a new one. It just seems
Yeah,
like.
he's been out of it for about 2 or 3
Yeah,
years.
it seems like since he left, it really,
Don't know who's doing
yeah,
it.
because last year they left the trash cans out, we put them away. I think it was in December we put them away. So,
Okay. Yeah, let them handle it. Anything else?
that's as far as I know.
All right, thank you. All right, Solicitor, Mr. Farbiars.
Okay. So we have Mountain Trail Solar, our next hearing is tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. They'll be in this room. And then we did receive a application from Hefner Road Solar 1 to update. Tom, if you want to pass these. If you recall, they had come in front of the township for conditional use. It was in 2022. They were insistent that the community solar was going to get passed, and that's what they had wanted. And now they have found out that despite the fact that they were convinced the legislature was going to act on it, the legislature has not. And so now they are looking to amend, because one of the conditions we imposed was that was that they needed to be community solar, and now they want to do, it's a smaller scale, but they want to essentially do, use a net metered model, and they are looking to construct a 5 megawatt AC ground mounted fixed tilt solar generation facility. So, next step is has to go to planning commission, and then ultimately we'll come in front of you for a conditional use hearing, just for them to request that modification. So, I just got this the other day. I think I emailed it to all three of you, but I just handed out copies of it as well. So you have that.
Were they given the fee schedule? I think that was another question that they had.
That-
They were looking for the fee schedule as well, weren't they? So they could get up to date before they submitted their application? Wasn't that part of the email?
I will go back and look and see if they need a fee. I think I also might send them a copy of our new solar ordinance, because they may not be aware of that. There are just different requirements than the last time they applied.
So we discussed this the last time. You suggested they have to reapply, start new, right? Is that what you were saying here?
Well, this is, what I was suggesting is that I think that they just wanted us to say, oh yeah, it's fine.
That's what they wanted, but I'm saying to you, we decided last time we agreed, you included, that they would have to reapply for a new application.
That's essentially what this is.
Oh, this is the new application?
It's a new application
Okay.
to modify.
To modify?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They have to modify. I mean, I think that a modification. I'm suspicious about a modification because it's a completely different project.
Well, that's what's supposed to be in my mind, what you're saying here, so let's get on the table what's happening.
Right. So what they're asking to do is, rather than go back to the drawing board and start over, they're asking for a modification. You know, they want to remove the commercial solar requirement that you imposed. I honestly think that I don't think that you can just say, oh, we're going to swap one in for the other. You know, when the township heard this, the testimony was all about community solar, and it was a much different type of application.
Right.
It's now, you know, now we're going. I mean, for better or worse, the three of you are experts on commercial grade solar. But I think you're going to have to hear all of that sort of evidence again with regard to this project.
I understand that part, but my question is, are you going to tell them that they need to reapply?
I did.
You
And
did?
and this is what they submitted.
Okay. And that's acceptable?
Yeah, they have to modify, they really have to modify the prior order
Okay.
in order to move forward. But in my mind, they're going in a completely different direction. So whether they reapplied or they modified, they're still going to have to meet the requirements of the ordinance.
Of the new ordinance?
Yes.
Okay.
And they would be on the agenda, told to be on the agenda for the August planning
I
commission meeting?
will let them know
Okay.
that it's going to be, that they need to be there for the August planning commission meeting. Before Ryan left LTL, he did leave a message with my office about, and I think I emailed the three of you about this as well, about a zoning hearing that's coming up next week for Robert Gilbert and Carrie Coy. You don't know anything about this, huh? Interesting. So I have the application here. I think Ryan's concern on this was making sure that the needs for parking, highway occupancy permits, and conversion permit, because they're converting a residential to a commercial property, and it looks like what they're asking for a variance this is from R2 residential to light commercial upholstery shop. So the question really is whether or not you want me to attend on behalf of the township to ensure that they are complying with everything. I assume you would be present.
Yeah.
It's July 17th.
Okay.
There's actually two hearings that night. I think the other one is for a variance for placing an accessory structure on a lot with no principal structure. But that was what Ryan brought it to our attention because he was, I think, a little bit concerned that it might be one of those where it would be appropriate for us to attend. I don't know that we necessarily take a position, but just ensuring that the ordinance is enforced appropriately. So that's up to you.
Well, in the past, we had that issue just up the road, those guys that burned down the garage out in Hartsville wanted to start their auto shop, and that's right up the road. And I remember, I mean, it never happened, they never got the approval for it and that, but this is a different type of operation, if they're just doing upholstery work and stuff.
Right. And it's the address listed.
You know where Sunday Road is, Matt?
Mhm.
Well, it's just, if you're heading out of town east, it's just before Sunday Road. It's just a garage that sits by itself.
Okay.
There's no home or anything
There's no,
on
I
that
don't
property.
think it actually has an address.
It just looks like one door and a garage door.
This one, it's 0 Old Route 22 is the address. So that's up to you. I have a copy of the application if you guys want to, I only have one, but if you want to look at it. You know, most of it is, they have an agreement of sale attached here, and so I think that the relief is, the sale agreement is contingent on getting the relief that they're requesting.
I think noise was a big issue with the garage.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you're not gonna have that at this place.
No, and if you're comfortable with it, listen, I'm not looking for another night meeting to go to, so. I'm not trying to compete with Tom's 100 a year, so. So, I mean, if you're comfortable with it, you know, that's fine. I'm just bringing it up because Ryan felt it important enough to bring it to our attention before he departed TL.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
No, I don't.
Okay, so I'm not going to attend. Do you want this?
Please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because you're going to be there.
Yep.
I do not have anything else.
Any other comment?
No.
All right, thank you. On to old business, Mountain Trail Solar, the public hearing we talked about, it's tomorrow evening at 6. Item number 2, fire company funding, was taken care of last meeting,
All right, and that's
and a check was issued tonight,
tonight. All right, it's up to date now.
and there was one for Virginsville as well, correct?
Yes.
Yep. All right, any news on the weight limit out on Port Clinton Avenue, the signage?
Pamela has been following up, so I'll let Pamela report.
Yeah, we still have not heard anything from Hamburg or West Windsor Township, so I'll reach out again. I have a sticky on my desk to do it.
Yeah, they had committee meeting last night, and I don't know if it was brought up, but their council meeting will be the fourth Tuesday of the month. So it's in 2 weeks, basically.
Okay, so maybe early
If you want
August.
to, if you want to contact them ahead of time,
Yeah,
so they can get it on their agenda.
you got it, thank you.
All right. On to new business, the planning commission appointment was made last meeting. Eric Sills was there last week or 2 ago. All right. Hefner Road Solar we talked about.
But we need an alternate. Eric was the alternate, now he's on the board, so there's an alternate.
All right, in any of our old ordinances in the township, does it say anything about having a certain number of farmers on this board? Because we technically really don't have a farmer on the board anymore.
I haven't checked, but I don't believe that that's a requirement.
I mean, don't you think the farmer should be represented as
It's not
this?
required, but you'd want to have
We've
a
always
good
had a
covering
farmer.
of the populace of the township. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
so
just-
that all sectors would be represented.
Since the majority of the township is agricultural.
Absolutely. The idea, you know, from what you're saying, the idea would be that it would be appropriate to have someone with an agricultural background, at least at this point, be an alternate for planning commission, correct?
That's my point.
Yeah, exactly so. So I think we should hopefully be able to, you know, find out, or if Pete solicits, if anyone would be interested in doing that, in that vein.
All right. Do we need to make a motion for Eric Sills? Or did we do that last month?
We did that, that's taken care of.
Okay. All right. Like I said, Hepner Road, we talked about. Other concerns, sign at the Township building.
What happened to that sign? How did that get?
Wind and weather.
Weather. That thing's been.
It
It's
wasn't
been-
someone who
no,
hit it or whatever.
It's been going backwards.
Right, but it,
So, but it just finally,
It's firewood now.
well, we ought to have another sign, obviously, I mean, but I don't remember how that was obtained, or who did it, or whatever. Do you have any recollection?
I don't know how he's got it, but I do have a replacement sign. Well, it's not really a sign, but it's changeable letter sign that we can put there
No?
and stuff, so.
You're the one that's gonna have to change the letters.
No, I have somebody that'll do that, so. She volunteered. So
What's it look like?
it's probably almost this wide and about 4 foot tall. Like one of those changeable letter signs and stuff, so that you can put on, you know, second Wednesday of the month, supervisor meeting, planning meeting this month, you know,
Okay.
you can change and stuff, so. Hey, it's gonna snow, you know, think spring, you know. You can come up with some catchy sayings, you know.
10-minute breaks.
Yep, you can do that too. and stuff, so.
If you have one, you ought to do it. I mean, I have no problem with
You're
that.
gonna have to put lights in for it.
Yeah, I'd have to put like 66 again, put it on and stuff, so. But I wouldn't
Where
put
were you
it-
gonna put it?
I was gonna suggest putting it out here,
By the swale?
yeah. Because over there, people get confused,
Mm-hmm.
because they see that sign, and then they wanna turn in at the last minute, and then they come up and turn and go back over there, because they don't look over here.
Yeah,
So-
keep it up at this end.
So I'd put it here at the edge of the swale, but off the road, but yet close enough that as they drive by, they can read it and not swerve and hit it and stuff, so. Can I get you to go to those and do the 6 months?
I'll have to go with you.
Well, that way we can use the card.
Yeah. Well, yeah, what was the date that was gonna expire? August?
Yeah, like August 20th, or, it's the end of August.
I'll relook at your email, I'll get ahold of you.
So, I have to figure out what size, what length I need it.
Mhm. All right. All right, second item, the county convention in Ole. You must be anxious.
No, we just got some literature, so I thought I'd put it down. It's a Thursday, same thing.
All right. Is there anything else
I
to
don't-
discuss? All right, I'd like to make a motion that we pay the bills. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. Any reason to go into executive session?
Yes.
Yes,
We will be going into executive session. I'd like to make that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
We're going into executive session to discuss contracts and personnel issues.